Get her out.
No, but you're playing a specific...
I'm currently playing the Sully Sullenberger who landed the American Airways passenger liner in the Hudson River a few years ago.
Wow.
So I'm making that movie right now.
See, already they want to see it.
Thank you.
Now, you know, we have Doctor Who and David Walliams, very famous all over the world. But Peter Capaldi, you're coming to the end of your second season of Doctor Who. So how are you coping with kind of that sort of fame?
Well, it's lovely. It's sort of being like...
Is it really lovely?
Yes, it is. Because you can see how, you know, the Doctor's a sort of magical figure. He sort of exists more powerfully in the imagination than he does on the screen. So when they actually see you in the street, kids, you know, they throw their arms around you and they are just so pleased to see this character. It's delightful.
And presumably everybody wants a picture with you.
Yes, well, largely, yeah, the whole selfie culture. I mean, I quite like selfies. I quite like it. But sometimes there's always someone on the fringes that you can see has the phone and sort of, you think, they want a selfie, don't they? And maybe I should ask them. And then, unfortunately, sometimes you do ask them and they say, no. And it just makes you feel like crap, doesn't it? Doesn't it? But it's never happened to you.
And now, David Walliams, you know, when you meet the fans, like Q&As and things like that, presumably they are quite random as an audience.
Yes. I went to a school in Manchester and one child said, I said, oh, you know, ask anything you want. I said, if you were at the airport and your phone got stolen, what would you do? Can we keep the questions about the book? And I had a lady come up to me at Lakeside Thurrock Shopping Centre. You ever been there, Tom?
On tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do they have a bookstore?
We'll make a day of it. And a lady came up to me, this elderly lady, and said, we've got something in common. I was doing a book signing. I said, all right, what's that? She said, we've both swum the Channel. I said, wow, congratulations, amazing. Thank you very much. How did you find it? It was cold. She went, no, I didn't do mine in the sea, I did mine in the swimming pool. And I went, oh, right, so you swum the length of the Channel, 20 miles, you did that over a day in a swimming pool. No, I did it over a series of weeks. Well, we've both been swimming.
Now, Tom, lots of your fans in the audience, lots of your fans everywhere, but is it always the same? What do people mostly ask you? What do people mostly say to you and shout out to you when they see you?
Oh, they used to yell, Houston, we have a problem. They used to yell that. They yell, run, Forrest, run. That's a biggie. Yeah. But now they just, they just yell, Wilson! They yell a lot of Wilsons over there.
And is it the same? Is it the same everywhere? Like if you're in, you know, I don't know.
Yes, yeah. Evidently, Wilson is a universal language word that they don't bother dubbing into any other language. So it's in Hindi, it's in Japanese, Chinese. Wilson! Pretty much all around the world.
Because I didn't realise till you were coming this time that in Forrest Gump, the famous voice that you use as Forrest, it came from a specific person.
Young Michael Connor Humphreys, who played young Forrest Gump. We were trying to... Bob Zemeckis came to me and said, hey, we got a problem on this. There's Michael right there, Sally and Michael. Aww. He was a very young man. He's now a veteran. He served in Afghanistan. Bob said, okay, we got a problem here. You're going to have to teach this kid how to talk the way you want to talk. And I thought, why don't I just talk the way he talks right now? And so we started hanging out with him, and he was from Mississippi, deep in Mississippi, and he had this hard G at the end of his. If he said it wasn't thinking, it was thinking. It wasn't making, it was making. And says, what does your father do? My daddy makes grease. That's what he said. And he said, I don't understand. Is grease something you make? Yes. He says, what do you do with grease? Well, grease goes into all different sorts of products. And I said, well, like what products? Oh, grease goes into lipsticks. And was like, well, I'm not, this is it. This is it. So somewhere I have cassettes, hours and hours of me just making chit-chat with a very young Michael McConaughey.
But he doesn't talk like that anymore.
No, he doesn't. It was just you know, he was 7, 8 years old. He was a young man, and that was the vernacular that we spoke in, and it was priceless.
Oh, that's adorable. And of course, a huge success for you. And the year you won that was your second Oscar, wasn't it, first?
Well, yes.
Yes, it was, if I must mention it. But
let me put it this way. It was my last one. How about that?
But it was 1995, and that was a very special year for the man sitting beside you, Peter Capaldi.
This is what I understand.
Because that was the year you won an Oscar.
We were there together.
I won an Oscar, yes, for a little short film. I didn't even know that they gave Oscars for short films. But I'd made this little short film because I was interested in filmmaking. And the next thing I knew, I was being telephoned and being told that you were nominated for an Oscar. I thought, we didn't even have any money. We didn't know how to get over there, or anything, but so we managed to cobble together enough money to get over there, and we found ourselves at the Oscars with yourself and lots of other film stars, and they called my name. And I got up on the stage, and I looked down, and it was a huge auditorium like this, and it just looked to me as if it was full of, you know, an Arnold Schwarzenegger lookalike, you know, a Steve Martin lookalike, a Tom Hanks lookalike, except it was the real thing. And it was sort of orgasmic. I don't know how it was for you, but for me it was, it was orgasmic. But I knew
it's my last orgasm.
But I knew as well it wouldn't last, because obviously when you've just made a little short film, it doesn't have quite the same impact on your career. And also I was an actor, so that just confused everyone.
But 3 billion people saw you.
Yeah, but as you know, they take you backstage and they put you on a kind of conveyor belt, and they take you into like a hangar which has got the world's press in it, and they put you on a stage, and all those pictures you see of people holding up their Oscar, they're sort of taken on that stage. And then they say, would anyone like to talk to Peter Capaldi, winner of the short film for 1995? Nobody. No, I mean, seriously, not one person. Just the tumbleweeds blew through. My life.
Have you been at the Oscars?
You're going to say, have you got an Oscar?
Yeah, have you, David?
I think so. I'm not sure. I'll have to check when I get home.
What is the theme of this show if you don't have one?
I've probably got one.
Because it looks like they're pretty easy to get, David.
Yeah.
I mean, have you been, though? Have you been?
Of course I haven't been. Why would I go to the Oscars?
Because,
It's great, isn't it?
It is a great... It's so fun. You get all that great free stuff. Chat with Jane Fonda.
And I got to tell you, whatever, even if you just win for a short film, they treat you, you know, so...
Did you get the gift basket with all the goodies?
It was actually before I was born that you were there.
But
1995?
we were booked on economy to come back to London, because obviously we'd done this off our own back. Yeah. And I thought, if I turn up at the airport, at Los Angeles airport, and place my Oscar, surely I'll get upgraded. I didn't. And we were put in economy, it was great. We handed around, everybody in economy held up the Oscar. It was like a night at the opera. You know, it was like all the people in the Titanic underneath. All the poor people waving an Oscar. It was great.
We've enjoyed the Oscar chat, but let's...
Have you ever won anything? A bicycling trophy?
I did, yeah.
Did you have perfect attendance in school?
Yes, I did, actually. I did. I got an award for that. So, yes.
He won the hearts of the nation when he swam the channel for charity.
Done that? Done that?
Now, listen, Tom Hanks, you bring us a fabulous new movie, your latest collaboration with Steven Spielberg, Bridge of Spies. It opens next Thursday.
Mark Rylance there as well.
Oh, yes?
That man is destined for great things, I must say, Mark Rylance.
And this movie, Bridge of Spies, I love when this happens, when a film can shine a spotlight on a story that has sort of slipped through the cracks of history, a story that we should all know, this story.
Well, yes, the Francis Gary Powers that's part of he was the U-2 pilot that was shot over the Soviet Union. At first, America said, nah, we don't have anybody flying over the Soviet Union. Not. And then they said, well, yes, you do. And then we had to cop to it. And I did not know the story of James Donovan, the lawyer that I played, that helped facilitate the spy exchange, because he had defended a Soviet spy that had been in the United States for 15 years, and he kept him from the electric chair and got him off so that he could live in order to be exchanged in a classic Cold War moment, you know, across the border with East Germany with the American pilot.
But it is extraordinary because he was.
It's a true story,
Yeah.
and we're very authentic to what actually happened.
That this man was plucked. He was just an insurance lawyer, and suddenly
He was a very heroic insurance lawyer, damn you.
Okay.
As all insurance lawyers are. I think we can all agree with that. He had actually been on the prosecution team for the Nuremberg war trials. In the United States, everybody gets a lawyer, so he just got this assignment. You are going to defend this spy. And he did. And he did such a good job of it that when the time came for the spy exchange, the CIA said, we need you to go over and make this work for us, because you're going to take this guy and get our guy back.
This is a clip. This is it's near the beginning of the film, and it's where we discover that your character and the CIA have very different ideas of how to defend a Russian spy.
Exactly.
We need to know. Don't go Boy Scout on me. We don't have a rule book here.
Your agent, Hoffman, yeah?
Yeah.
German extraction.
Yeah, so?
My name's Donovan. Irish, both sides. Mother and father. I'm Irish. You're German. But what makes us both Americans? Just one thing. One. The rule book. We call it the Constitution, and we agree to the rules, and that's what makes us Americans. It's all that makes us Americans, so don't tell me there's no rule book, and don't nod at me like that, you son of a bitch. There you go. Is that not look rockin' soppin' and after that? And I'm going to tell you. We have so many quiet scenes of talking over a cocktail in a bar. It's going to hold you by the edge of your seat. Scene after scene of quiet cocktail chatting.
Oh, it's hard to pick a clip. It's hard to pick a clip.
No,
because-
that's actually very evocative of much of the movie.
Yeah, and this is the fourth time working with Steven Spielberg. So at this point, like, does he direct you? Or
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, he wants everybody to come in with ideas. He wants you to have something. Oh, there we are. That's Mark Rylance is just off camera left there. He wants everybody to come with ideas that are beyond what's in the script. And I did some reading at one point, and I said, hey, you know what? Hey, I got an idea. Can I play a cold? Because it turns out James Donovan on the flight over to Berlin, it was an unprotected, uninsulated military aircraft, and he got a vicious cold. And for 4 days, he had a stuffed up head and a sore throat. He was really sick. And he said, yeah, that's great. That's great. You'll have the cold to begin with, and then at the end, Hoffman will have your cold. See? You'll have a cold, and you'll give it to the CIA. And then so that's the kind of stuff he does all the time. And then he runs up saying, oh, this is great. This is great. What a great idea. So I didn't do anything. I'm glad the boss likes it.
because Peter, we were talking about the directing. Will you ever go back to directing? Because you know,
I may do eventually. The trouble with directing is it takes up so much time, you know. And I really like acting. I really like being in it. You know, you can do an acting job in 3 months or something, you know, whereas when you're a director, it takes you like a year to do a project, another year to get it together. So
Maybe if you did a short film. Who knows what could happen?
now, I just wanted to talk about the first film you made with Steven Spielberg, Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
Which were yes, yeah. Is that the toughest shoot you've ever done? Because I mean, that first 20 minutes is so, as an audience member, it's grueling.
Let me tell you the story. Okay, I don't know if you, there's a gentleman in, oh, there he is. I think he's right between us. See the fellow go up, no, right between, that fellow right there.
Yeah.
I believe we had the scene in which we had to go over the side of the landing craft, land in the water, struggle up to the shore, and then that gentleman was going to get shot in the chest, right?
Okay.
And so we're chatting, and I said, how are you? He said, oh, very good, Mr. Hanks, very good. Oh, you're English. Oh, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Have you done many movies before? No, this is my first. I said, really? Your first movie was with Stevens? Yes, it's very exciting. I said, oh, great. Well, you know what we're doing, right? I have been told, I have been briefed. I said, okay, so once this starts, we go over into the water, right? You going to be okay there? Well, actually, no, I'm not very comfortable in the water. And I said, well, then you're just out of luck, my friend, because we're going over the side, and I believe I think it's shallow enough that we can walk up. But yeah, well, I hope so too, because I really don't swim very well. I said, okay, all right. So we did that, and we made it that far, and now we're soaking wet, and we're very cold, and we're fighting hypothermia. And a special effects fellow comes up and says, "All right, Governor, we have to rib a squib on you now. Don't worry at all. This is an electric energy pack. The battery's right here. What I'm going to ask you, when the charge goes up, mate, please don't look down, because it might get up in your eyes and it could blind you." All right, off we go. So now this fellow has freezing cold, and some guy off the, and of course, and then he gets blown, and then he dies, and that was his first day of making a movie. God bless him, gentlemen. He was fantastic. Wonderful job he did.
Well, oddly, I think you'd like... David Walliams has many books out, but the one at the moment is connected to World War II.
It is. It's called Grandpa's Great Escape.
I have a copy. But you did proper research.
I did do research, yes, and I actually went up in a Spitfire.
I think we've got a picture of you in a Spitfire.
Because it's about an ex-World War II pilot.
You look very jaunty.
What does jaunty mean?
Well, it's something about those...
You could have said handsome.
Handsome.
But you said jaunty.
Well, just because you...
I mean, could you just say masculine or something?
No, I couldn't say that. I could have said handsome. Yeah. I could have said handsome.
This is me just trying to look cool. Yes, I went up in a Spitfire to do some research, because I have to explain what it's like to fly in a Spitfire. And it's about a grandfather who still thinks he's in World War II. He's actually got dementia. And he goes on an adventure with his grandson, and they steal a Spitfire from the Imperial War Museum.
Wow. And it's already been #1, and it's probably going to be #1 again for Christmas, because...
After this show...
Well, everyone loves your books!
If Tom Hanks held it up to his face, I think it could be... Well... Tom, there's another one. Tom, there's another one. Put that one down. Another one for you.
While you're enjoying that, we could be reading The Bear Who Went Boo. And this
is for the younger.
Now, we don't want to get bogged down in plot, but what's it about?
Well, there's a bear, a polar bear, and one of the things he enjoys doing is saying boo to people. And it was actually inspired by my son, actually, because he likes going boo to people. So I wrote it for him, really.
And, you know, no one can deny your success. As I said, it's getting on to 9 million books now. But why did you... I know, 9 million books. That's his answer right there.
Thank you. Yeah, well...
Why did you think of doing it?
I just had an idea for a story, because the first book is called The Boy in the Dress, and I just had an idea for a story. What would happen if a boy went to school dressed as a girl? How would his friends react? How would his family react? And I wrote that story, it did well, and then I just kept writing them, and I'm now on... That's the 8th novel.
And are you working on... Presumably you're working on more now?
Yes, because the publisher very much always wants you to write more.
Yes!
If they've done well. So, yeah, I'm writing all the time, but I actually love it. And the thing about a children's book is the only limits are your own imagination, because you can go anywhere, because in a children's book you can take children on a most incredible, fantastical journey that you probably can't so much in a book for adults.
And what's great about kids is that they're quite... Well, one, they're very loyal. Once they like your books, they love your books.
But they do grow up.
Yeah,
which is annoying. If we could keep these children in the 8 to 12 bracket, they would keep...
Well, there'll always be more.
Yes.
You have a tendency, because people out there, they're only like 8 to 12 years away from having a child that will read your book. So
Good point.
Yes.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
Good point. Thanks for clearing that up for us.
Here's how it works. Not going to go there. Sorry.
But no, in terms of children entertainment, though, can anything ever top Toy Story, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh, dear. Oh, there we are.
There you are, but...
There's Tim Allen. Tim Allen, the voice of Buzz.
Yeah.
Last time I saw him, he was giving me an Oscar.
But the weird thing is that is so loved, but children... When they see you walking down the street, they don't know.
There are countless elevator rides. I'll be in the elevator, and a mother and child will get on, and the mother will say, "It's Woody!" And I'm saying, "It's Woody!" And the kid's going, And then the mother tries to explain, no, the voice is recorded. And the actor who is the voice, this is the actor. The kids just don't get it at all. They say, where's the vest? Where's the cowboy hat? You're not very tall. And so I say, all right, close your eyes. And they go, what? She says, just close your eyes. And the kid goes, and then I said, we got to get back to Andy's room right away, guys. And then they go, really love that one. But the little kids are they're the best. They love it. They can't believe it.
But for you, it must be lovely to make a film in that way so that you can watch it like an audience member.
Oh, it's very hard work animating these films. Honestly, they are, because Woody, he's like this, and the recording sessions go on for 4 or 5 hours. So I always come out of recording Toy Story sessions. We're now recording Toy Story 4, so we're doing that.
Is it definitely?
It'll be out in 2018, as a matter of fact. So it takes a long time. But my diaphragm gets a workout because the entire guys, come on! It's like, by the time I'm leaving, I'm driving home, and I literally have to put an ice chest on my diaphragm just so I can go home, because it's clenched throughout.
Wow. So Toy Story 4, that is...
We are working on it right now, yes. Yeah, well, I have a recording session on the 2nd of December.
I love that noise in the audience.
You know what? Somebody stuck a microphone in my face at some point in something. They said, is there going to be a Toy Story 4? And I said, yeah, I think so. And I got a call from the Disney lawyers the next day. Said, you contractually are not allowed to discuss a Toy Story 4. It will affect the stock market price of the Disney common stock. So you are no longer... I said, hey, I'm sorry. But let me just point out, I'm Woody.
Well, now, children everywhere can rejoice because Doctor Who continues on Saturday nights at BBC One. Now, tomorrow night... Oh, it's a big episode tomorrow night, isn't it, Peter?
It's a sad one, yes. It's
very sad.
It's very sad. It's very gripping and very strange. It's about mysterious streets that can only be seen if you stand in lost streets. They're called trap streets. And you can only see them if you stand in a very specific place, but aliens live in them. And they're in every city. And we discover one. But it's the end of the line for Clara Oswald, played by Jenna Coleman, who's been my companion for the last 2 years.
She go bye-bye.
It's the end of her story. I don't want to go into the details of it, but...
Is it too upsetting?
It's sad. It's sad.
And have you got a new assistant?
I might have.
Is it like a dog? You put one to sleep and then you just immediately get a puppy?
No, it's not like a dog. No.
Jenna's gone to the big film set in the sky. This is Maisie Williams. No, is Maisie Williams your new assistant?
You are so not allowed to talk about this.
Stuff like that. Maisie's great, though. Maisie's in the show. Maisie's
We know she's in it.
She's fantastic. She's been in Game of Thrones since she was 12.
Wow.
Get out, really?
And she had her 18th birthday on our show, and she's very, very assured, you know. And we were doing a shot with her, and you're me, I'm Maisie. And they said action, and she went like this. I said, what are you doing? She said, you're in my light. That's because she's been doing this other big show since she was 12, but she's lovely. But she's 18, so she speaks a completely unknown language. So she would teach me cool new things to say, like she was going to Glastonbury and she was going to see Florence and the Machine, and she said they're ape, which apparently ape means great. And so it's the new sick, which has taken over from wicked.
Yes.
And I only have very old antiquated...
Ape, yes.
Yes.
Ape, dear, yes. That, don't we? Yes.
Well, we have an exclusive clip. She's not in it.
She's not in it.
No, this is an exclusive clip of tomorrow night's episode. And this is Dr. and Clara flying in the TARDIS high over London.
Glasses are tracking your eye movements. Just keep looking straight down and...
I know! Focus on the buildings directly below me!
Whatever they're using, it only hides the street itself. It prevents you from noticing there's even something missing. They're somehow making our eyes skate right over it. Let's call it a misdirection circuit.
She enjoyed that way too much.
Tell me about it. It's an ongoing problem here.
She may fall. She may fall.
Have you ever done any of that acting that...
Oh,
you
that
know,
kind
all the
of
time?
thing.
It's great.
No,
isn't
but
it?
I think I was in London when you were shooting that because I saw.
Now, listen, Tom Hanks, you're famous for being lovely to fans. That you're very nice. You go see it.
I try to be.
Yeah, no, you're very good.
Yeah, I try
and
to
David,
be.
you're a big fan, but someone else in your family is also a very big fan.
Yes, my mum's a big fan. And we were in a restaurant at the River Cafe probably about 7 years ago. And my mum had drunk a bit too much and she suddenly felt a bit ill. And I led her outside to the tables and you were sat at one of the tables. Ooh. And she stopped dead and I had to sort of drag her like you would a donkey on a beach away from you. You were so excited to see you.
Well, how ill was she? Otherwise, she could have stopped by.
She may have thrown up over you.
Well, that would not.
She's here
in the audience
tonight.
And let me see if I can figure out who she is.
I can see her already. She's blushing. She's smiling. Look at her. Look at her. She's,
Oh my!
Look at her. She's gearing to go.
Come here, love. Come here, darling. I see you. Give her some loving now. Give her some sugar. Have you been drinking? You haven't been drinking anything. You're totally sober. Have you been smoking? No, you haven't been smoking. All right. She's a good mom, isn't she? Look at your boy. Are you not proud of your lad down there?
I'm very proud.
42 million books have been sold. One of these days, he just might win an Oscar. Very lovely, very lovely.
Made her like that. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you.
She's a good mom. You got a very good mom.
Very good.
He says that. No respect for your mother. Was he a good boy? No, come on. Off the record, was he a good boy?
Sometimes.
She's showing off now because she's met Tom Hanks.
Now, listen, it is time for music. And I hesitate to ask it because this is a sort of little-known thing. I didn't know. But you are a recording artist.
Oh, dear. Oh, well, let's say I've been forced into the studio at gunpoint on occasion, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, you went all kind of hip-hop rappy on us, didn't you?
Yes, I have a rap hit that haunts me for the rest of my days. Yes.
Because this was you and
Danny Aykroyd.
Danny Aykroyd.
We were promoting Dragnet, a motion picture in 1987, and we sang. Of course, everybody can sing along. Look out, Strebeck, you're just in time. We have stumbled into a major crime. She's got the girl all frightened. Now, that's not nice. I think she is the subject of a sacrifice. Buddy, we're putting this party on ice. But first, you know, we really ought to read them their rights. Read them their rights. Read them their rights. that was what we did.
He knows the dance.
We did a video. It was choreographed by Paula Abdul, believe it or not. Yeah, choreographed by Paula Abdul, and it was a mercy. It was the first thing I'd ever seen on YouTube because my kids were asking about it one day, and I said, "Dad, we got to see this stupid thing. Where is it?" I said, "Oh, it's on a VHS tape somewhere buried in the basement." And they pulled out YouTube very quick, and there it was. So my kids now can torture me with this thing.
All right, well, thank you very much for doing that. Now, it is actually time for... Well, no, it's time for more music. Sorry, that was bad. Yeah. Time for even more music. This supergroup have sold over 100 million records and filled stadia worldwide, and now they're back with their 14th album, Paper Gods, here performing their single, What Are the Chances? It is the mighty Duran Duran!
Any other day you might have gone walking by without a second look. Any other way, but I'm still mystified. I'm just trying to change my luck, staring out I'm waiting for the one, but the world won't look away. The world does not explain. So what are the chances? We'll never know if we take it for granted. A diamond explodes. What are the chances? Playing with your life, or is it destiny which sets you on a path? Is it out of choice that you're here next to me, or just the aftermath of moments as they pass? So what are the chances? We'll never know if we take it for granted. A diamond explodes. What are the chances? So what are the chances? We'll never know if we take it for granted. A diamond explodes. What are the chances? We are lost in the flow and looking for answers.
Beautiful! Duran Duran, everybody! Come join us, too! There you go, you're very welcome. Have a seat, good, lovely to see you. Hello, lovely to see you. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Come and sit down. Everybody, chatting. Lovely, 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 lovely. If you
We want to know about that. It's a good life lesson.
We want to know about that.
Oh, yeah?
don't squeeze too far.
There
we go.
It
Okay.
came to pass because the very first time I came to London, the football scores were on in the morning. And it was all these cities I didn't quite understand. Where is Stoke? Where is Blacksworth? Where is Slough? I didn't know. And then along came the score. And Aston Villa. I said, Aston Villa. What a beautiful sounding vacation paradise.
Sounds like Roman, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Slightly Roman.
I'll lay in the sun and they'll bring me a pina colada and I'll just spend 2 weeks in Aston Villa.
If only you knew. Well, you do now.
Well, I do now, yeah. And I'm still with them.
Yeah.
In and out.
Unlucky.
Paper Gods is the new album, which is out now. And so on this album, you've collaborated with other people, haven't you? Like Mark Ronson, Oz Roger, people like that.
Yeah.
Now, so I read somewhere, who was resistant? Who thought we must not collaborate? We are Duran Duran, keep it pure.
Well, I've been holding onto the microphone very jealously for about 30 years.
It's called
Or
job
maybe more.
insecurity.
Yeah. I never want to, because whenever you do a collaboration, it's always a vocal collaboration. I just thought I'm just going to get sidelined and end up the backing vocalist of Duran Duran. Nothing wrong with the backing vocals, by the way. But
see, they're gone. Not on the couch, are they? Even the drummer made it with his own stool, but he made it.
We could use some guys. That's what happens when you're the drummer.
And so it's not just an album, there's going to be a tour. Yeah. And what's it like touring now? It must be very different to touring before.
Well, when we used to get stuck on the motorway in the snow, we'd have to find a red phone box, stop the car, get out, someone would get into the phone box and would say, hey, looks like it could be 2 hours or 4 hours, we'll see you when you get there. Now, actually, you send a text and you say, well, we're 2 hours and 22 minutes away. Then you send another text saying, we're about 2 hours and 18 minutes away. It's communication.
That's quite amazing, actually, because when you said what's the difference between touring now and touring then, red phone boxes was not what sprung to my mind.
Nor mine. And listen, very quickly, the album cover is beautiful. And by the way, how very shortage of me, I have a vinyl copy. The artwork relates to various bits of your past.
Yeah.
And on the sofa, we've talked about fans tonight, on the sofa is a super Duran Duran fan.
Tom, really?
Which one is it?
No, it's David Walliams.
I knew that!
I did my project, music at school, on you guys. I had lots of facts. Like Simon Le Bon may sound French, but he's actually from Birmingham.
I'm from Pinner.
Are you?
Yeah.
OK, quick test then. What, can you name the albums or videos that these images come from? We'll start with an easy one.
You to a kill.
Yes, even I got that. What about the pink phone?
Is that from the Rio video?
Yes! Wow. Good, and actually so is the cocktail.
Yeah?
Yeah. What about the sumo wrestler?
Girls on Film video.
He's good, he's on fire, he's on fire. What about the big fangs?
Wild Boys.
Yeah. Oh, he's genius, very good. Well, listen, good luck with the album, good luck with the tour. Duran Duran, everybody. Very good.
I'll trick you out.
Yeah. Right, before we go, just time for a visit to the big red chair. Who's there? Hello.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Shelley.
Shelley, and where are you from, Shelley?
Beckenham in Kent.
Lovely. Again, lovely. So many places to enjoy. And what do you do there?
I'm secretary.
In what sort of firm?
Landscaping.
Oh, landscaping? You can say that. You won't get fired. Is this about you stealing things from the office?
No,
okay,
it's my old job.
OK, oh, it's your old job.
Yeah.
Let's be very... This is not where she works now.
No.
No. OK, off you go with your story.
OK, I used to work for well-known funeral directors, and...
Can I just say, I'm already loving this story. This is going to be good. OK.
OK, so one day, an elderly gentleman was brought into the chapel of rest, and he had taken a Viagra pill and unfortunately passed away by making passionate love to his young dolly bird of a wife. The next day, when we went to, obviously, put the coffin lid on, there was...
No! No! This cannot be true!
It's very true. Unfortunately, he wasn't the only thing that was stiff.
He just got out of jail. He's a hardened criminal.